Hello, cyberspace. It is I, Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch here. And tonight's title is Dilated Eyes Make Looking for New Frames a Pain. Yes, I had my eyes dilated today. Tonight I have with me my baby brother, an American kelp.
What do you mean you had your eyes dilated?
They put this liquid in your eyes to make them dilate so that they can look in your eyes and see how well it looks in the back.
Hmm.
And we have with us Scooby331.
Hey, you said they dilated your eyes. I didn't want to sound like an asshole earlier. I wanted to wait till we were on air. All I've been thinking about was the episode of South Park where Cartman goes to the optometrist. That's all I've been thinking about was, do you remember that episode?
No.
It's probably the best episode. I actually think it's the first season or the second season. It's that old, but yeah. I remember I was never really into South Park, but a friend of mine, he's like, "You got to watch this." I'm like, "I'm watching." I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" It was funny, as far as even like South Park, because a lot of the humor is a little bit too vulgar for my taste. This particular episode was very funny, but that's all I was thinking of when you said you got your eyes dilated. Was that so? I'm sorry that the humor is lost on you.
Well, Scoob,
Yo,
I know this isn't something a lot of people know, but you've had your eyes dilated before, right?
I don't think so.
I'm sure you've been checked to see if you need glasses.
Well, yeah, I wear glasses.
Well, yeah, they dilate your eyes to prescribe glasses.
Oh, is that when you wear those plastic disposable shades?
Yeah,
Okay, I've had that happen before.
yeah, you're fucking blind. But
Well,
They never did that to
well, they
me.
did to me. I wasn't blind.
oh no, it essentially makes you blind. Everything is fuzzy.
No,
Well,
when it happened to me, I could still see clearly.
Then they didn't dilate your eyes.
Uh, they still have me wear those shades.
Well, that's
well,
a precaution.
let me ask you, your optometrist, when you go in, do you put your eyes in these special black goggles that are attached to a wire and then go right into the computer and the doctor shows you what's going on with your eyes?
No, I don't get to see that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Again, I hate to sound like an asshole. It's where I live. So my optometrist is all digital.
Yeah, ours isn't, but he's a great guy. He's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious too.
Oh, mine, I can't stand going to them. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I started talking to a few people on here. It makes it a little bit makes some sense now. When I was dealing with her, the optometrist, it makes a lot more sense now. I just thought that she was weird, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, you go into them and you put your eyes in the goggles and you just look forward, and it's like a regular eye test from when you were a kid. And I guess that kaleidoscope tutti frutti shit that they shoot into your eyes, that must be like the electronic equivalent of dilation because, they take the mask off and for a few minutes, you're seeing stars. But, uh, yeah, I've never had them like put any chemicals in my eyes or anything of that nature. I think I know the thing you're talking about when they dilate it. I just think that the new electronic technique that they use, um, I don't think that they have to dilate it. They might have done it to me years ago when I first started wearing glasses, probably back in
Ask your
years.
mom. She wears glasses, right?
Oh, my mother's 1,000 years old. She buys her glasses off of the rack. I don't think she's been to an optometrist in a coon's age. You know?
Yeah. No, they put two different chemicals in. One helps to determine the pressure in your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one helps dilate them because they can see your pupils have refractory inside of them. So when they look at them with special lighting and everything, they can see all the way to the back of your eye.
Hmm.
Because your eyes are dilated so that you literally have like no iris.
can you give me 1 second? I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
have to go see what the spoiled brat needs.
So, baby brother,
Dog or the wine?
do you want to hear about a stabbing in Gainesville?
Sure.
All right. Julius Jacoby Irving, 32, was charged with
Like
attempted
Irving?
Julius
Is there a
Jacoby
relation?
Irving. He's from here. He's not, a Canadian.
Oh, I didn't think it was our Irving. I was just wondering if there was a relation.
No. A Gainesville Krispy Kreme employee was arrested late Wednesday after police said he stabbed another man at least 4 times outside the donut shop. Now, our Krispy Kreme in town is still like the old 1940s ones.
Cool.
It has not changed.
Fuck, now I want a donut.
And you can see through the back, you can see how they make the donuts.
Yeah, the one that we have here has that too. Has that conveyor belt.
Not all of them have that.
Oh, well, mine does. Fuck, I want a donut now.
What, the donut shop's out by you?
There was a stabbing.
Talking about stabbing at a donut shop, and now I want a donut.
At about midnight, Irving and the man argued behind Krispy Kreme at 310 Northwest 13th Street, according to Gainesville Police Department. The release said that Irving, a Krispy Kreme employee, was upset about how a female co-worker was making donuts. The woman later called her boyfriend to come pick her up from work. When he arrived, he confronted Irving about the argument, and Irving took a swing at him, according to the police. After the men stopped fighting, the woman's boyfriend tried to walk away, but police said Irving armed himself with a 4-inch knife and stabbed him several times, causing life-threatening injuries. Irving was arrested at the scene and still had the knife. The stabbing victim was taken to UF Health Shands and rushed into surgery. Medical staff found the man was stabbed twice in the chest, once in the back, and once in the left thigh. The injury to the man's hip required officers to apply a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. Irving was booked into the Alachua County Jail at 3:43 a.m. His bond has not been set as of Thursday morning.
My question is, while he was stabbing him, did he repeatedly say time to make the donuts?
I have no clue. But instead of a Florida man, you want to hear about a Florida bird?
All right.
All right, who fucked the bird?
Title of the article: Man, 82, attacked by likely nesting hawk.
Wait, what?
Willis Clemens had a late lunch of lobster in his mind as he and a friend headed to the Red Lobster on Newberry Road Wednesday afternoon. Instead, he got pummeled by a large hawk, which nearly knocked him over and left him dizzy and bleeding. Clemens, 82, of Interlaken, said Thursday he was fine after being helped up by a crew of workers from the restaurant, who helped mop him up and quickly clean the wounds so he could go to a nearby doctor. The Red Lobster that they're at is literally like a block and a half away from the hospital. But he sure is curious about what the hawk was up to and whether anyone else had been similarly targeted by birds. He wondered if his white hair attracted the bird in some fashion. He was traveling fast. I had no idea he was fixing to attack. After he got me, I thought he was going to try and carry my scalp with him, Clemens said. Clemens is retired, but said he and his friend Michael Rockwell sometimes just ride around for fun. He owns rental properties, and they had collected rent before stopping for food. University of Florida Wildlife Ecology and Conservation professor Mark Hollister said, although many birds are busy making nests, Clemens' white hair wouldn't have prompted the attack because the bird would have recognized him as a human. But he said inadvertently venturing too close to the nest could have. My guess is that there's a nest nearby and the bird was defending territory. Katie Sarving, of a wildlife ecology and conservation professor who studies birds, was traveling Thursday, but wrote in an email that she supposes Clemens must have gotten too close to a nest. That's about the only thing that they fight humans about, she wrote. It's probably a red-shouldered hawk, which we have a lot of here. One of the most common species in this area. Health department officials didn't return phone calls Thursday. On a happy note, birds don't get rabies. Although Clemens needed a tetanus shot, he'll be fine. Although the attack itself was scary, Clemens said the care he got from the Red Lobster employees who came out carrying first aid supplies helped. The manager asked if she should give me a hug before I left, and I kind of hated to go. So that's a bird story.
All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna go get me a fucking donut.
All right, I'm not waiting.
Why don't you just log in via your phone?
Robbie, come here.
Yeah, take your phone with you.
Check your butt. I can make you come out. Come on. Tell you.
That's too funny.
It's already 11.
Yeah, I could see that though. I mean, I've seen that happen around here. Like you'll see an osprey. Like you get a lot of these yuppies. They come out here from Manhattan, like over by the beach, and they go on the trails on their bikes, and they go underneath the osprey nest. And sometimes you'll see the osprey swooping down at them. So I can see that as being, completely believable.
Oh yeah, my dog Gigi, when we lived out on our 5 acres out in Alachua, we had like sparrows or wrens nesting in our trees, and my dog Gigi would just be like wandering the yard, walking by, and the damn bird would swoop down and attack her ass.
Yeah.
And like yank out fur as it went by. And one of the times she, took one down, and she didn't kill it, but she did injure it. So I took care of it until it passed. I was trying to heal it, but she broke its wing.
Yeah.
All right, another story on Scooby. In all your times of smoking weed when you were younger, have you ever heard of Gainesville Green?
Nah.
Okay, well, our town, Gainesville, had a reputation in the 70s for having this really, really good strain of weed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fucking amazing strain.
Yeah.
My mom, before she passed, actually got me some of that strain. And it was amazing. It was one of the last people to have any seeds of that strain. All right, so Gainesville Green vape product not made from 70s strain. Folks in Gainesville may be new to the high-tech medical cannabis scene, but some of them took immediate offense at an outsider's claim to branding Gainesville Green, a potent strain of local pot from the 1970s. Representatives with the Sunshine Cannabis, a licensed cannabis branding company, and Dilated, a grower and retailer of medical cannabis, claimed in a story published on Monday in the Gainesville Sun that they had brought back Gainesville Green in the form of a vapor product, tying it to a legendary strain from the 1970s. Several Facebook users took issue with that claim, calling it fake. It's not the real deal. Others suggested Gainesville Green was just a name slapped onto a product to be used as a marketing tool. That is not the real Gainesville Green, someone wrote. It's fake. Check the lab results if you can get them. As Haas suggested, getting a third-party medical cannabis laboratory test results from Dilated is difficult. Dilated requires patients to use a batch code to look up its product's testing results rather than listing them publicly, making it difficult for non-patients to have access to them. The lab report completed by ACS Laboratory of Florida claims the newest batch of Gainesville Green was extracted from GGR, a strain code for Gainesville Green. However, Robert Roundtree, a partner with Sunshine Cannabis, told the Sun Wednesday that the batches of Gainesville Green were made by Dilated with Gorilla Grape, another cannabis strain. Roundtree did not disclose that in previous interviews. He said food-based organic compounds called terpenes were added to give the cannabis the flavor profile of Gainesville green. Roundtree previously said the product was made using Gainesville green of old, but said it couldn't be proven. There's no way for someone to prove anything is what they say it is, Roundtree said, noting that many considered several strains to be Gainesville green. People who say the product is fake can't prove it, and that it isn't Gainesville green. Gainesville green to them could be something different to someone else. With a stop right here, the fact is if there is someone in Florida or in Gainesville that happens to have either a seed, a roach that still has some green in there, or anything that was Gainesville green, they can use that to determine if this vape product or these edibles are in fact derivative from Gainesville green. All they would need literally is a seed shell. They don't need the seed itself.
Yeah, I know. You can actually trace the plant's basically DNA, for lack of a better term, the same way you could do with animal cells. You can trace the strain's markers.
So, Mr. Roundtree, if you ever see this, obviously you don't know how genetic codes work. It works the same way with plants as it does with animals and humans. So if I could get hold of some Gainesville green, even if it's just a stem, I can prove whether or not your shit is from my shit. Or at least a strain of it. You get
there you go.
The Sebring that my baby brother is in, and baby brother, turn off your fucking camera.
I didn't turn it on.
It's on. There you go.
I've never had Gainesville green myself.
Okay, I'm not reading this whole article, but I actually pulled up several articles on it.
Yeah, I get the gist of it. They're cashing in on the name without actually providing the service that they're charging people for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Escaped dog terrorized Gainesville neighborhood.
There'll be a 3-pack. Let's see.
Get me a bear claw.
2 chocolate iced with sprinkles, and a strawberry ice with sprinkles. That's it.
Where's my crawlers?
What?
Where's my crawlers? Glazed
I can't
crawlers.
hear you. Okay.
Get me some crawlers and drive your ass down here. Hey, asshole.
That's too funny.
Residents captured 2 of the dogs, one of which was killed by a Gainesville police officer. The other was likely suffocated by residents trying to hold it down.
What happened with these dogs?
2 dogs that marauded through a northwest Gainesville neighborhood in which a pet dog was killed in a September mauling were killed Friday night, and a dog they attacked was injured in the latest of a series of canine attacks. Dun, dun, dun. 5 dogs described as pit bulls, owned by Reynaldo Davalia, got through a damaged fence and began terrorizing the Northwood Pines neighborhood. Oh, I know exactly where that is. Residents captured 2 of the dogs, one of which was killed by a Gainesville police officer. The other was likely suffocated by the residents trying to hold it down. Northwood Pines is a neighborhood in which Bella, a small mixed breed owned by Linda Swinburne, was killed in September by pit bulls that had escaped from the homeowner, Nathaniel Pitford, a street over for Friday night's attack. Residents described a street under siege at about 8:30 p.m. when the dogs escaped. 5 dogs came running from Ray's yard They were running amok in the neighborhood. They were running at a couple that had a dog in their yard. A dog chased the woman into her house, menacing her, and attacked their dog. The husband was able to pry the pit bull off their dog and slam him against the wall, and the dog just kept going. That couple and their dog Lucy, they tried to make sure the dog, the male of the couple tried to make sure the dog and the wife were okay. He grabbed his baseball bat and ran down the street to the home of Wayne and Ingrid, where the dogs were attacking their beagle mix. They eventually got the dogs off, were taken to emergency clinic. The dog had deep wounds and added the concerns that the wounds would get infected. Meanwhile, 2 other dogs were attacking a third canine further down the street. Pretty much this person, right in the middle of Northwest Gainesville, was breeding attack dogs. You have to have a permit to breed attack dogs. And that permit has to be licensed out by ASF.
Okay.
It just kept going on about these poor animals getting wounded. I got tired of it.
Damn it. Alright, sorry, I hit the wrong button.
It's okay. Pick and choose which ones will be. Oh, okay. So, I've reached my limit for the month on my reading of Gainesville Sun. Oh, well, there they all go.
Oh, I'm reading this here. Disney is finally banning smoking. I didn't know that they still allowed it. And this is kind of a dick move. Their new rules prohibit strollers larger than 31 inches wide and 52 inches long and ban stroller wagons altogether. Okay, I'm going to have to tell that to my wife. Her sister was going to be going there next month, and her sister has 4 children, and she uses a stroller wagon.
That's some bullshit. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, this is the elites. This is the elites again.
Yeah. Why are they banning this?
I guess because they don't want people who have large families going there. You know, I guess they're trying to keep it down to the elites who have like maybe 1 or 2 kids. What they want them to do
is to rent their strollers.
Ah, that's what it is.
What is it? Disney is banning strollers of a certain size.
That's a lot.
No, it's not. It's in the news.
Okay. Well, I go to Disney all the time.
Well, they're banning it.
The alerts for the employee, they're not banning it. It's a myth.
It's 9 hours ago. They just announced it. Maybe you didn't get the memo yet. I really doubt that they'd have a faux pas like putting it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different main journalistic sites. I don't think that they do a whoopsie like that. Call it a hunch. I think that
Disney banned strollers from U.S. parks. Updated today. Whether you travel to Florida or California, you'd better plan ahead if you're a smoker or a stroller user. On Thursday, Disney announced that starting May 1st, smoking in certain large strollers will no longer be inside Florida and California Disney parks, including Walt Disney World, Disneyland theme parks, water parks, ESPN Worldwide of Sports Complex, and Downtown Disney. Guests who smokes will still be able to light up in designated areas outside the park entry points and in smoking areas at Disney Resort hotels and Disney Springs. Disney parks routinely get more crowded in the summer, and
You're only banning wagon strollers.
No. They're banning ones that are of a certain width. And it's not just wagon strollers. Scooby just read out what sizes.
31 inches wide and 52 inches long and ban stroller wagons altogether, which means if a stroller is over 2.5 feet in width and over 5 feet long, it is banned, and that probably includes the handle length also, which means you probably need one with a collapsible handle to get past that.
Yeah, take out the
Umbrella
measurement
strollers.
tape to check to see if your stroller is of the right width.
This is banning everything it sounds like but umbrella strollers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But they're doing it to get you to rent their strollers. Because it says right here, if you prefer, Disney will rent you a stroller for $15 for the day or $13 daily for a multi-day stay.
Unfucking real they are. This is why I use this avatar. Because that fucking rat is exactly that, a rat. Uncle Mickey, destroyer of Marvel. Slayer of a galaxy far, far away. And now he's taking the single moms by the ankles, flipping them over and emptying their pockets.
Their quote is, restricting stroller size and prohibiting wagon strollers will hopefully eliminate traffic problems they can cause, blocking walkways, bumping into guests, especially little ones, and taking up space in queues elsewhere.
That's such horseshit. They just want more money.
Guests shouldn't be too concerned with this new policy because many strollers already fit the size requirements. But tons of families, large families, go to Disney every day.
Yeah. All right, so check this out. Let's say you have 3 kids and you need a triple stroller. Now, lo and behold, that triple stroller is probably going to be about $45 if they charge you per kid.
Just for a stroller.
Right. And I'm saying, what if they only have singles and it's you and your husband or whatever? It's the modern age. It's a husband and a husband, a wife and a wife and a whatever they call themselves at this point. Fuck, we'll be progressive on that. Let's say it's the 2 carbon-based life forms and their offspring. Fuck it. You got 3 offspring. You got 2 parents. Who the fuck's gonna push the 3rd stroller? Or if you got 4 kids, or what if you're one of those families like mine where there's 7? That means you probably need not only 2 of those fucking stroller wagons, you probably got to strap a papoose to your back with the kid in it. You know, I mean, seriously, this is, I hate saying it, this is Disney specifically making it so large families, i.e. Catholic families, or the families I always see there, which is, you know, the white family where it's the husband and the wife, they're both big as hell, they got a whole tribe with them and they're using all sorts of coupons and shit. They're trying to keep those people out. The people who, you know, live in the trailers with the above ground pools that Samantha Bee hates so much that she constantly makes monologues about them. That's who they're trying to keep out.
If you're bringing a cooler to the parks, loose or dry ice isn't allowed anymore. Use reusable ice packs or visit a park's quick service station for free cups of ice.
You see what I mean? It's more shit with them.
In the parks, we were never allowed to bring a cooler into the park.
When I was a kid, it was allowed.
Maybe when you were a kid, I had the employee handbook upstairs in my room. You were not allowed to bring coolers.
Then why does it say
because
new
people
rule?
do it and they allow it only for circumstances, such as kids with kids. There are certain guidelines to go by, but technically, per the policy, it was not. They are not allowed to bring coolers.
Then they need to put it in big signs.
People from other countries.
Okay. Put it in Ching Chong Chang. I don't care.
I got a question actually for
Ching Chong Chang in China.
You hate places like Disney. You will never go. So why does it bother you?
Because it's asshole-ish and it's actually going to take away from tourism.
Not really.
That's actually how we don't have to pay a fucking state tax.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main reason we don't pay a state tax.
You got to think about Star Wars is opening up. They just opened up Toy Story Land. They're going to open up so much more. They don't walk around the park anymore.
They're trying to make it so that working class and below cannot afford these parks. They're making it for middle class and up. They're making these parks for the elites.
You can't even bring coolers for ice in the Universal, and everybody's making a big deal about it because it's Disney.
I make a big deal about all of them, but specifically Disney.
I make a big deal about it. I'd flat out tell them, I have epilepsy. I have to have ice.
You can get ice from their vending machine.
And I would tell them, fuck you, I have a bag of ice in my cooler.
A bag of ice is going to melt when you can get fresh ice.
Want to bet?
Okay.
Depends on what kind of, if I'm using one of those Walmart frozen food bags, it's not going to melt
anytime soon. You're not even allowed to bring a
soon.
cooler at SeaWorld, but people still do.
Yeah, Disney's evil. That's all I'm saying. Evil empire. You know, I'm not even going to beat my head against the wall about it. I know I'm right on this one.
Because she's going to sit there and argue.
No, not even with her. I'm just saying I know I'm right about this one with them. It's more and more things that they're doing, slowly but surely.
I asked my friend who's still at Disney. He said the news overplayed it, only stroller ratings, and when he gets off work at 1 a.m., he has no problem giving you guys the memo on the actual reality of the new policy changes.
Well, this is what was told to CNN by Disney's people.
Yeah, but they overplay it. CNN lies.
Okay, I'll pull it up on other news sites.
But I'm just saying, he's the manager there, and he has no problem showing you the new policy when he gets off work at 1 o'clock.
Let's see. Today, CNN, Today's Show. Today.com, the New York Times, Thrillist, Fox News, Disney Tourist Blog.
That's a lie blog.
I mean, there's plenty of news sites that are...
Well, I have a friend who's a manager at Disney who can give you the policy when he gets off work at 1 o'clock. They banned stroller wagon of a certain width.
Oh, then...
I believe you, but I know...
So
they need to have their publicity person go out there and say, it was overplayed, this is the exact size, and read it word for word from their policy memo. Because that's the only way people are going to stop freaking out about it. But still, stroller wagons, I mean, come on. If you have like a family of 6 and they're mostly little ones, you're going to need a stroller wagon.
Maybe they should stop having sex with their
a lot of them that like to go are Catholic, and they're a stringent Catholic.
Believe Disney?
Yes. Ask Scooby.
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 7.
His father was raised Catholic. His mother was raised Catholic, and they truly believe in the whole thing of it's better to spill your seed in the belly of a whore than it is on the ground.
Yeah, and a lot, you know, especially all the ones that the Democrats have been sneaking in here, they're just as Catholic too.
I was raised Catholic.
You weren't
raised Catholic like me.
You weren't raised Orthodox Catholic.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference. Orthodox Catholic, that's what they believe.
Maybe
yeah.
Family bloodline. But
no, I've met other Orthodox Catholic families. That's what they believe.
I wasn't allowed to watch the television on Sunday. I wasn't allowed to listen to the radio. I wasn't allowed to do any chores.
It was your day of rest. You weren't allowed to do shit.
We would go to church. We would be there for 6 a.m. So we would leave here at about 5 a.m. because we had to drive over into Queens because my father wanted to hear Mass in Latin. I used to have to go to church and listen to that shit in Latin. Seriously.
So now you guys know the kind of arguments I have on the daily.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I prove stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I show evidence. You know, when you guys show me evidence, I shut my mouth. Do I not?
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying, what I was trying to say to her is, he can get any memo he wants, and she can show any evidence she wants. What I'm saying about Disney is, they'll just issue another memo. They're an evil, I mean, they literally are an evil corporation. Like, when people talk about the corporatists, you know, I nod and I say, oh, yeah, Disney is the first thing that pops into my head. A lot of the problems you're having right now in this country is because of Disney. And again, not to sound all tinfoil hatty, most of these actors who were acting the fuck up are connected some way through Disney. Marvel Comics is owned by Disney, and they've turned it into an anti-fucking Trump machine. I mean, they made him a supervillain in their books. The sitting president.
That doesn't surprise me.
It surprises me, the balls on them. I mean, they used to, like, the other times what they would go after presidents, they would at least, you know, do it subtly. This is just, I'm amazed at how brazen and naked everything has become. You know? And Disney's the worst of it. Again, so why I use this avatar, because fuck Disney. I got no interest in dealing with them. I have
And
no
I'm going to
interest.
reference people listening. Seriously, go watch the ERB episode of Stanley versus Jim Henson. Go watch that. Stanley and Jim Henson were actually friends.
Yeah.
And now that both of them are dead, Disney owns it. They, at the end of where Stanley and Jim Henson are like talking, being friends and everything, fucking Walt Disney pops up and is like, shut the fuck up! Start making me money!
You know, and it's sad because everyone says things about Walt, and even a lot of people say shit about Eisner, and I'll tell this to people all the time. Disney became a problem when Eisner stepped down. About
Eisner was, I liked him.
Yeah, me too. He gave us Touchstone Pictures. He revitalized Disney as a whole. They were, not that they were doing bad, but they were not the fucking juggernaut that they became in the late 20th century when they were under Michael Eisner's watch. I remember when he took over.
No, he made sure it stayed family friendly.
Right. But I'm saying he turned it into a juggernaut, and what he did was he separated the talent, like for the less family friendly shit, into Touchstone Pictures. And a lot of people don't realize that Disney owned Touchstone. And that was some of their best pictures that they came out with at the time was on Touchstone. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of what actually revitalized Disney's brand as a whole, and people don't realize it, is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, before that, if it said Walt Disney Pictures, you were expecting, you know, you're going to see something along the lines of the fucking Apple Dumpling Gang, you know?
What's that?
I hate how young
bang,
you
bang,
are.
titty, titty, bang, bang.
Okay, I know that movie.
Yeah. The Apple Dumpling Gang, it was these two bandits or bank robbers, I forget. It's been
It
years.
had Don Knotts in it.
Yeah, Don Knotts and this other guy, they're like bandits, and they wind up getting stuck with a bunch of orphans.
Who's Don Knox?
Oh, for
Don
God's sake.
Knotts.
Okay, who's Don Knox?
Okay, have you ever watched the Andy Griffith Show?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember Andy's deputy?
Barney Fife.
Yeah.
That's Don Knotts.
Okay.
Wow.
Later, the landlord on Three's Company.
Mr. Furley.
Yeah, Mr. Furley. He played in a lot of movies. When Andy Griffith was doing Matlock, one of his quote-unquote old-time friends would come around, and it was fucking Don Knotts.
Yeah. The last role I saw him in was on that stream we did, The Trial of Scooby. Yeah. It's the last time I saw Don Knotts. What?
Dreadlocks now. Well, that's what happens when you're laying in a coffin dead. It all gets matted.
Oh, God. Oh, that just cheered me up.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. So I wanted to ask you guys, since, you know, we've hit a point now where going into the next hour, and I know Kelt was chewing my ear off before we went on the air. Not that I minded, I'm saying, but I know he was chomping at the bit about all this crazy shit with Jussie Smollett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys can talk about that. I don't give a flying fuck.
Well, you should. It's really fascinating. Basically, Jussie
No, it's
Smollett.
not. The little fucker lied, falsified evidence. His ass should be in jail.
Right. Well, riddle me this. One, why did he do all that? And two, why isn't he in jail?
The Obama
One, he did it all because he was getting kicked off of the show he was on. So
No,
he wanted to make himself, relevant.
He wasn't getting paid enough in his eyes.
Right, right. That all sounds well and good, but there's a lot of things to that, a lot of elements in the equation that to me doesn't add up. Like they came out afterwards, all the people that were involved with Empire, and they were saying that's not true. Now, this is the thing. He needed an excuse for this to go down. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people haven't looked into this. Jussie Smollett's mother is part of a trifecta. Herself, Angela Davis, and Ashaka Shakur were all, they were basically like the three commie musketeers of the Black Panther Party, these three pinko loonies. They actually wound up getting involved with really deeply involved with the Communist Party and with the Black Panther Party. And Ashaka Shakur wound up blowing away a Rhode Island state trooper back in the early 70s, and she fled to Cuba. She's also Tupac Shakur's aunt and godmother, by the way. Her brother was Tupac's stepfather, for anyone who's keeping score. Now, that's that part of it. Now, also connected to them, this is where it gets more interesting. Tupac, of course, Tara knows. Tupac went to the same preparatory school and the same
Performing arts.
That's a performing arts school with Jada Pinkett Smith. And Jada Pinkett Smith, of course, as we all know, was the one who was involved with ushering in the new age of insanity with her hate-filled video that she sent to the Academy of that gives you the Academy Awards. I don't know what the fuck their name is. Yeah. She sent them that thing, and all of a sudden, everything started changing. Now, this is the thing. There's also, God, what the hell is his name? I think it's Frank Miles Davis. That was Obama's surrogate father, who a lot of people say was his actual biological father. These three young ladies were actually disciples of his. And Obama and his wife, there's pictures all over the internet of them with Jussie Smollett. Naturally, we all know the story at this point about how Michelle instructed her aide to get in touch with Kim Fox, which was the district attorney. And Kim Fox, by the way, received a $350,000 direct cash donation to her campaign from George Soros. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of shit to Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett himself is dull as fuck. But you got to look at it this way, Tara. It's like I was saying about myself beforehand. Part of the point of contention I have with a lot of people on here is a lot of the people I know and people I'm related to are interesting as hell. I myself am dull. I'm a boring person. It's just the truth of it. That's part of the reason people like dislike me when they were having that trouble with me. They were looking at my Discord for shit to get on me. There's nothing in there. I really do have no interesting things going on about me, seriously. Same thing with Jussie Smollett. You look at Jussie Smollett, he's about as interesting as, like a mounted fish on the wall. But he has all these different people surrounding him and connected to him. From what I've heard, was he was actually, now this is only from what I've heard. I can't confirm anything yet because I don't have any hard, solid evidence. I mean, if I would have it, Christ, you'd think that one of these guys that was like a multi-million-dollar media firm like Hannity would have this evidence. So, anyway, from what I had heard, basically this was some insane plan concocted by Angela Davis's brain trust. Was she particularly involved? I can't confirm or deny. What I can say is, from my sources, this was basically an idea that was concocted by a few people close to her. That was because Jussie actually spent the holidays with Angela Davis. A lot of people don't realize this. It was right after seeing her is when he went to Chicago and did this. Now, this is the thing. Chicago is a city that's also tied to all of these people I had just mentioned. So we have to ask ourselves now, is this the pinnacle of Chicago communist politics manifest? Which I honestly think it is. I think that the whole and the crux of this story is that now this is, bear with me, I'm going out on some very thin shit here, and I don't have a lot of evidence. This is not something I'm saying is true. This is a theory I am putting forward. I'm postulating this. I would hope to find evidence to back this up. I think evidence will come out in a few days, maybe a few weeks, or even a few months that will confirm what I'm saying. We'll have to see. But here's what I think. I think he was talked into performing this hoax specifically on the grounds of getting pinched. And then all of this going down just basically as a way to show us that there is a two-tier system and that they are the elites and we are not. A lot of it, to me, seems like this was specifically done to snub and to basically rub the American people's nose in the fact that they have their own terrorist oligarchical society within our own. Because I cannot see any other reason that this putz would do something this blatantly stupid and for it to all come out smelling, everything came up Jesse. It all came up smelling roses. And the fact that this son of a bitch got an award from the NAACP and now he's going to sue the people of Chicago, I'm sorry, this all seems way too contrived for my liking and tasting. I mean, there's an old saying, to quote the bard, the lady doth protest too much. It reeks of bullshit to me. It looks like too much of a dog wag. There's way too much surrounding Jussie Smollett, as far as people go, for this to just be that, it was coincidence. I mean, look, this was faked, obviously faked. It was a boneheaded, botched thing from the word go. Everything was done to make it where it was easy for them to catch him. And for it to come out the way that it's come out, and for him to go out there and to make the statements he's been making, and to go out and to sue. No, this is obviously, he's being told to do all of this. For these specific politicians, celebrities, and whatnots to come out and back him and to be playing lip service the way that they're playing, for Eric Holder to get out there, that fucking evil, evil man, and make the statements he's been making the past few days. I mean, look, this is obvious. They're trying to show us that they own us. This is a declaration of property. This is all of us being told, look down at your neck and notice the collar and the tag on it and memorize your number. That's really what it sounds like to me, and it's just being done subtly at this point. They're whispering it right now. They're not screaming it in your face yet. I hate sounding a little tinfoily. I mean, I have neither the stamina nor the Texas accent to do the Alex Jones thing, but, I mean, there's so much shit here. I mean, I'm doing the whole armchair journalist thing at this point. I'm not really, knocking myself out with the research. And this is the shit that I'm piecing together. So, I mean, Laura Ingraham, I think it was 2-3 nights ago, she first postulated everything, the Michelle Obama connection, and now it's pretty much come out in the wash that she was 100% correct in her thought. So, where does that leave us? I mean, my question is, what exactly was the gain here? I mean, it seems to me like a lot of time wasting just to show off that they could pull something like this off. I mean, to me, I think that, I don't know what they were thinking, but I'm just going to guess here. I'm not black, obviously, but I'm thinking that they probably just pissed off, I don't know, most of the smart, intelligent people in the black community, especially if you're in Chicago, especially if you're realizing that now the money that goes to any programs that could help your community is going to be taken and be put into the pocket of this rich fuck with the weird first name. Who the fuck names that kid Jussie? Seriously, think about this. I mean, I don't think that they realize what they're doing. they pretty much might have actually just handed a large portion of votership to the Republicans come the next election cycle. I mean, they might have actually just loosened their grip on Chicago, not even realizing it.
Dude, I think if you say Chicago one more time, Burnside will show up.
Chicago. I'm saying, though.
Like Beetlejuice.
But I'm saying, does that sound far-fetched to you, or does it sound like something that a bunch of arrogant rich people would try? I don't understand what their motivation was for this crazy shit that they pulled off. Why they decided to fake this crime, and then why they decided to make it like a spectacle out of getting him pardoned and all this. I mean, other than to waste everyone's time and to just show off that they could do it?
I guess, but what he did is a federal offense.
Right, I know that. And that's what I'm saying is, are they trying to show that they've corrupted even the FBI? Because I hate saying it. You heard about what happened with when the Mueller report came out, right? Have you watched everything today? Because
no.
Apparently, MSNBC and CNN's ratings dropped something like 40%. And conversely, Fox's viewership rose something like 20 to 30%. So there's been a paradigm shift because of this freaking report. The same way there was a paradigm shift in our lifetime with the Ken Starr report for Clinton. That's actually why a lot of people shifted to Democrat, was because of that stupid report with Ken Starr. Look, I'll be honest. I don't like Clinton. He's a rapist. He's a piece of shit. I don't like the fact that he, as an older man, used his position and his power to manipulate that young Monica Lewinsky. And a lot of people are going to say to me, "Oh, you know, Scoob, she was of age. She can make her own decisions." And I'm going to be one of those people who says, I'd say the same exact thing when a woman does the same thing to a young man. I don't like it when somebody who's an adult takes advantage of somebody who just by a happenstance of law happens to be an adult in the eyes of the law. You know, a younger person is a younger person. You're more experienced in life. You know you're leading them down a dark path. It's a fucking evil thing, is what it is. You know? I don't like Clinton, what he did with Monica Lewinsky at all. I think that was some slimy, evil shit. But he didn't break the law. He committed adultery. Adultery, I'm pretty sure, is against the law in his own state, but I don't think we can...
Most states don't recognize adultery anymore.
I think Arkansas did back then. But my point being was he wasn't in Arkansas. He was in the Oval Office. So it goes out the window. I mean, fuck, if I do something in California, they can't try me for it in New York. Be nice if we could maybe work a system like that. It would probably scare the shit out of people. You know, I can't being tried for different laws in different states depending, but I mean, fucking hey, anything to get the criminals to behave. But I digress. That Kenneth Starr report was the reason that people turned against the Republicans, and I can't say I blame them because that was the debacle. What you're seeing now is you're going to see the same shift that happened from the Ken Starr report, from this fucking Mueller investigation, is now going to cause people to shift back to the Republican Party. The Republicans are lucky in as much as the people that you have in the forefront right now. Like, did you see the video of that Republican yesterday with he had all the visual aids in the Senate, and he was ripping apart the new Green Deal with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
Oh yeah, I saw that on the Cox channel.
Yeah. You have people like him in the forefront now. That guy he became huge because of that. And before that, you had Representative Matt Gaetz down in Florida. I adore this guy. He's the one that he asked Adam Schiff to co-sign on the bill he put forth for President Obama. So Matt Gaetz reintroduced it for President Trump. And Schiff had to kill his own bill on the Senate floor. He was so pissed about that. You got these two younger guys, Matt Gaetz, and I believe the other guy's name is, I think, Mike Lee or Matt Lee. I got to look it up. And then you have some of the old guard that have come to the fore, which is you got Rand Paul, and you have Lindsey Graham, and you have Mitch McConnell. Now, this is an interesting thing I'd heard about. The reason Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham have been more active lately, and actually participating. People have been saying, oh, it's because of Trump. Trump inspired him, this, that, and the third. I think it's because John McCain is dead. And this is from what I've heard from a few sources. John McCain had blackmail material on these people. And that's the reason that everyone was not doing what they were supposed to do in the Senate, and they were doing what McCain wanted. Because apparently, from what I've heard, McCain was using a lot of his military contacts to get intel on these people and to blackmail the shit out of them into doing what he wanted. Ain't that a kick in the balls, huh?
That's not a surprise.
Yeah. I feel bad, too, for that BBW daughter of his. I actually got a thing for Megan there. I don't like usually white girls unless they're a little bit thick and curvy. But I kind of feel bad for her because of what she's going through with all this. But no, I think that is accurate from what I understand. Specifically, Lindsey Graham, from what I understand, he had dirt on Lindsey. From what I understand, Lindsey might be a bit of a swish. And, back, because Lindsey's been, I think, in the Senate or the House, whatever the fuck branch he's in. He's been there for probably about at least 40 years and back. Obviously, you guys remember, even in our lifetime, it was illegal. So that's probably what he was blackmailing him with since the 60s or 70s, whenever the hell the man got involved in politics. It is a possibility that the reason you've seen the Republicans finally start to move forward is because John McCain is dead and the evidence died with him. I mean, I've heard that about Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, that this guy had blackmail information on them. That he was not just a rhino, he was like the original rhino, that this guy was basically, he infiltrated the Republican Party. That he had made his bed with the Democrats long ago, and the reason for that was the Democrats also had the tapes on him, where he had sold out the American people. I mean, there's just so much that has come out. I mean, look, Tara, I know you're not particularly fond of the president, but you got to admit, all the shit that's been hitting the fan since this man has gotten elected. He said he was going to drain the swamp. Holy shit, I didn't realize he was going to be throwing TNT in there and just fucking launching gators in the air. I mean, Christ. Seriously, I mean, look at this shit, man. Look at the past week. Holy shit, look at everything that's just spilled the fuck out onto the porch. I can't believe some of these stories that are breaking. It's crazy. I mean, I think part of the thing with Jussie Smollett was maybe this was actually timed as a distraction. I mean, look at it. They cleared Jussie Smollett the minute this shit broke with Mueller. I really think that's the whole reason that this Jussie Smollett thing went down. Now I'm thinking about it. That's the only thing I can think of. I think that they timed it like this when they figured out that the Mueller report was going to bring up Bupkis. Seriously. Look, it makes sense. I mean, what happened? The same day the Mueller report broke, the same day it broke. Hey, Rich. The same day the report breaks, they turn around and they release this shit about Jussie Smollett. Maybe it was the day after, whatever it was. I'm just saying, it's the timing. To me, I honestly think that's why Jussie Smollett did this shit now. I think that this was all contrived. It's going to sound tinfoil hatty, but how the fuck else are you going to explain this? I mean, really, the guy is not that fucking stupid, and he's also not that creative. This is a double-edged sword. He's not smart enough to have concocted this fucking cockamamie shit on his own. He's also not smart enough to have pulled it off, but he's also not stupid enough to do half of this shit unless he was pushed to do it. Nah, this guy is an actor for one reason and one reason only. There's not a brain in his fucking head. But he's got enough common sense not to put his ass in harm's way. That's what I'm saying. For this guy to pull off a caper and put his ass in harm's way, he was getting led around by the fucking wrist. Definitely. And this was all put together. This is some crazy lefty shit that they concocted specifically for when the Mueller case finally spilled and they realized there was not going to be anything left to it. That's when they came up with this crazy Jussie Smollett story, which is part of the reason I haven't really been paying too much mind to it, because honestly, I'm more interested right now in what's come out with the Mueller report, what has happened, and who the fuck is going to jail for treason, insurrection, God, what else can we hit them with? Sedition. I mean, there's so many different things right now that people are looking at charges. Adam Schiff is looking at charges.
Domestic terrorism.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. Adam Schiff is looking at charges. You have Mueller, you have Comey. They're all looking at charges. Who else? If we expand this net, I don't know how if we could tie Pelosi to this, how involved she was with it. But I mean, you have people like Al Green, who's calling for this constantly. You have people like Elijah Cummings, who's calling for this. All these people who kept overly, over and over and over again with the articles of impeachment. That means Maxine Waters. I mean, there's so many people. Like off the top of my head, I'd say at least 9 top Democrats are looking at least some form of disciplinary action, if not outright prison time. I mean, it's got to go down. The American people are not going to stand for this. I sure as fuck am not going to stand for this. I mean, you know, as part of the reason I wanted the president to do exactly what's going on right now, which is expose these cockroaches for what they are. But this is the thing. You expose the roaches. You don't just say, oh, wow, look at the roaches on the ground. No, you get a hammer and you start squishing the fucks. You know?
Not only that, you put out poison for the colony.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, did any of you hear what Eric Holder wants to do?
Mm-mm.
Re-education camps to train us all not to be racist.
Fuck you.
Eric Holder?
Eric Holder was the attorney general under Barack Obama. That I couldn't understand why there was such a spike in crime around my neighborhood. Do you know what this asshole did?
No, I don't. I didn't even know who this guy was.
Oh, get this. This is what Obama and Eric Holder did. They changed it where they forced it through the Department of Justice, and there's actually proof to this. This isn't me just spinning my wheels. Because the Democrats fucked up the black communities and the black neighborhoods. Black people were doing fine in this country for a while. You know, you don't have to take my word for it. You can go watch any video with Thomas Sowell in it or Walter Williams. 2 of the best economists alive today, both as black as the day is long, and both conservative, and both also 2 of the most hated people on the left because they're diehard capitalists. But if you listen to these gentlemen talk, because they're both elderly at this point, 70s and 80s, I believe, and they'll tell you about how everything got fucked up in their communities by LBJ and his Great Society. And we all know exactly what LBJ said. You know, we pulled this off the right way. We'll have the blacks voting Democrat for the next 200 years, except he didn't call them blacks when he said it, because LBJ was so progressive. So they specifically went out of their way to decimate the black community. This is what these assholes have done in the past, 40, 50 years. They went out of their way to do it. And I get depressed thinking about it. You know, this is now the newest wave of shit that they're doing to this community.
Like the 60s, the government put out cocaine and specifically put it into the black communities to keep them lower than the white.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also
records about that, and it has been declassified because of the what act is that, Skibby, for
Freedom of information?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Malt liquor. That's another thing a lot of people don't realize. Because malt liquor up until the 90s had trace amounts of antifreeze in it because it was allowed to be used in the finishing process. Malt liquor was actually, they came up with the term malt liquor so they could allow that finishing process as opposed to regular beer. That's why malt liquor is labeled and marketed differently than beer, and part of the reason you can't get malt liquor in white neighborhoods. It's, you know, I hate saying things like this. This is, again, it all comes down to the damn Democrats and their plotting nonsense that they do. You know, I mean, if you look at everything that they've done in the past couple of years, they've gone out of their way to demonize the American family. They've gone out of their way to demonize people's culture, people's faith, people's religion. They tell you if you want to stick to your own beliefs and systems that you're against globalism and against multiculturalism. What? I'm sorry?
I said, unless you're Muslim,
Yeah.
then they bend over backwards for you.
You got to realize something. This is what I'm amazed at what they're trying to do. They're pushing so hard for everything with Islam. And they're communists. This is the thing I'm confused about because, like the Chinese, do you know how they dealt with the Muslims and Islam in China?
Officially in China, Islam is a mental illness.
Yes. Yes, it is. That's how they deal with it. So I don't understand what the hell these communists are doing. I mean, I can't see what the fuck the end game is. What the hell are they trying to do?
With elementary schools in the UK, or
Mhm.
one. Well, there was one school that was that had mostly Muslim students. Well, the parents started protesting the gay indoctrination going on in the school.
And they stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they moved on to another school, and they're saying it's not that they don't have it. It's not that they're teaching them about sex or that stuff. It's that they're teaching them about that there's gay people around and how to live with them and such. That's what they're protesting.
They're doing the same thing they have at my high school. I had stopped in there a while back for something, and I had my press pass and I had a camera on me, and they had all this gay shit up in the hallway. And so I went and I confronted the superintendent point blank, and he says like this, well, that's for a club. I said, it's supposed to be in the health office or in the nurse's office. Why is it in the hallway? He said, well, it's not anything to do actually with sex. He said, and it's not anything to do with health or with the nurses. He said, it's for the kids. It's a club for them. I said, so you have a club that's indoctrinating these kids into a lifestyle. He says, no, they have it there of their own accord. I said, all right. This guy, by the way, he's about 400 pounds. He's morbidly obese. He's not married. And I've heard from a couple of people that he's a bit of a weirdo. I'm not going to drop his name on the air because I don't feel like getting sued, but he's one of those people, just to let you know. I am an actual journalist, so yeah, I am the type where I will wait the fuck up in your bushes for like 5 days if necessary to catch you fucking committing a crime. I got no problem with that. I find out that you're doing something bad, like I find out you're screwing around with kids or whatever. Your ass is mine. Seriously, the true story. There was a ring here, a prostitution ring here on Long Island. I found out about that shit, and I got in touch with the feds about it, and they broke their ass up. One of the guys caught 50 years. Seriously, I waited in these motherfuckers' bushes for like 2 weeks with a camera. Just waiting on them. Seriously, getting all sorts of bit up by hornets and shit. Don't matter. They had little girls tied up in their basement that they were beating with hammers. Little girls, man. 14, 15-year-old girl. Nah. Let me find out that somebody's a scumbag. So I tell people all the time, anyone watching this, anyone listening, hit me up on Gab. Seriously, hit me up on Discord. Be like, yo, Scooby, I got a lead. All right, bet. I'll go after him. Seriously, that's why I'm here. It's a 2-point thing. You see the avatar? It's because I'm against social engineering. I don't like them sitting there trying to indoctrinate kids. The other side, flip the script. Whenever you see me rocking the mask with the flag on it, I love my country, but I don't want my country to be some socialist fucking cesspool. And that extends to like, yo, don't fuck with the kids. I find out that you're like running some prostitution ring or whatever. I ain't gonna beat your ass. I could give you a world-class beating in a month. You'll be fine. Nah, fuck you. You're going to jail. Don't screw with the kids. That's all I'm saying.
And in jail, they're going to take a broom handle to your ass. You ain't recovering from that because as soon as you come out of the infirmary, they're doing it again.
Yeah.
If Jesse does end up going to jail, it's a good thing he's already gay.
He ain't going to go to jail. If anything, he'd go to a white-collar one. No, I'm telling you, if if this asshole actually, if they can, I'll be amazed if Trump and his DOJ can pull the hat trick and get this asshole to actually get processed on charges. But I'm telling you right now, if Jussie is actually looking at any hard time, he might. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you got to be careful what you say because you might wind up getting your door kicked in and people, you know, like strapping you to a chair and asking you questions under a hot light. So you got to be careful what you say. But when I say they might wind up Seth Rich and Jussie before he has to testify, yeah, that's a possibility. Because let's face it, you can tell by looking at this arrogant little prick, he ain't gonna do no time. Either way, he ain't doing no time. If he has to do time, he'll wind up hanging himself in his holding cell before he gets sent up north. But if he can, he'll give somebody up, and that's when they're gonna say he committed suicide. Meanwhile, it's 2 to the back of the head, and he was found in an alley. You know, those are the things you got to look at, the elements in the equation like that. I think that there's a lot that was hinging on this. I think that this kid was just supposed to provide the distraction, and that's the reason that I think that they dropped it right when they dropped it, was to try to get us to stop talking about the Mueller investigation. This is the problem, though. The balls on these people. I guess they didn't think that Congress and the Senate was going to say what in the flying fuck and turn around and go after these people with hearings like they're doing now. This isn't something, I mean, the hubris on these Democrats, like they really think that the American people are this stupid where 72 hours later we're going to forget.
Of course they think they're this stupid. They voted for Obama twice.
Yeah. I'm just saying, this is why I was arguing with your sister constantly, man. I was telling her, you know, why are you fucking back into Democrats? This is why I can't stand. I understood her reasoning for the Republicans. Yeah, the Republicans are retards. I agree. Seriously, I'm from New York. I mean, Republican is another word for thief up here.
Well, remember, like I said, down here, the Democrats are your Republicans. They're actually trying to help.
No, they don't. They're Democrats. They don't help.
Now, the Republicans here,
Republicans trying to end the censorship on social media in Florida.
I'm just saying, no matter what the Republicans are doing, no matter what state you live in, what county, what township, no matter what your Republicans are doing, the Democrats are doing something worse. It's just, it comes down to it. Now, on the surface, they may be doing something good, but they're down to something diabolical. They're Democrats. Now, are there a few Democrats out there that are good Democrats? Yes, because those are the ones that signed up for the Democratic Party before they found out, oh, shit, this is the party of the Klan. You know? I know a few people who are Democrats who are decent people, and it's one of those things, they aren't aware of their party's history or their party's motives or agendas yet. You know, they're still asleep. They're not woke. That's, you know, that's the thing. Good Democrats are sleeping people. When they're woke, they usually flip and become Republicans. That's just how it is. I mean, the Republican Party, if you look at their charter, they were specifically founded to oppose the Democratic Party, the Confederacy, and to abolish slavery and to make sure every American person is free. It's what they were founded for. And the Democratic Party has always said that they're the party of the opposition. So if I'm a person who believes in freedom and equality for every man, woman, and child in this country, why the fuck would I want to side with somebody who complains that they're the party of the opposition to that? You know? That's the way I look at it. And when you look at like some of their more vocal representatives as of late, I call them the holy trinity of stupidity. You got, I'm going to go in order from least favorite to most favorite. You got Cenk Uygur, you got David Pakman, and you got Kyle Kalinske. These three fucking dimwits are the ones that got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez elected. And these three morons are the ones by using her as a proxy, are causing most of the trouble in this country. I mean, I give them credit, actually. My hat is off to them. They've caused more trouble in the past few months than the rest of these Democrats have in the past 3 years by getting that fucking lunatic elected. See, I don't mind because she's helping out the country by proving how nuts the Democrats are, and more people are going to vote Republican now because of her. I just don't like the fact that my state is what's going to be sacrificed on the altar for the rest of the country yet again. Just like how the rest of the country is red now because my state has turned into a blue cesspool. My state has gotten bankrupt because we got a mafia governor here. It's like one of those things where a lot of the shit that's happening to my state, it seems like because it's happening here, the rest of the country takes notice and puts provisions in place so that doesn't happen there, which I'm glad. I like my country. But it's one of those things, if I'm going to be left in a smoldering husk after these fucking Democrats are done with what they're doing here, I'd at least like my taxes dropped a little bit. You know? That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, fuck it. Let them keep burning the fucker down. It just gives us something to rebuild. Ugh. Damn, man.
But have
Yes.
you heard of Muslim country that is making being gay punishable by death now?
Yeah, what was that? I was looking at it earlier. Hold on.
I don't remember the name of the country. It's the first time I heard of it before.
No, I have heard of it before. I was actually just looking at it. I know which country it is. I just don't want to like misspeak and say the wrong country.
But I learned about it from watching Philip DeFranco, and I noticed something. Like I've noticed that in like the news, when they mention human rights, it's almost always about the queer alphabet soup community. But when a country that starts censoring its people, like New Zealand, no one mentions human rights.
Yep. And they're not gonna either.
You what?
They don't talk about human rights, and they're not going to talk about them either. That's how these people are. It doesn't fit their narrative to show that there's other people that are suffering in the world. They have to make it where all the suffering is coming from the people that they deal with. I mean, look at how powerful it is. They were actually able to white guilt the English people into stopping giving to charity.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That this fat oaf in a three-piece suit could sit there and tell you, how dare you help out the Africans? And people are like, all right, fuck it, we're going to stop giving them money. The fact that they're, like, I hope somebody in England sees this and shares it and it goes viral. I want the English to hear what I'm about to say. The fact that you got people over there walking through the park, filming these infomercials and dictating to you, like a haughty prick like that asshole who did that. What was his name? The black guy that filmed the infomercial. Sargon went ballistic over.
I have no clue.
This is one of those things where, you know, like around here, when we see certain people, we heckle them. Now, I'm not telling anybody never go up to somebody and just like get physical with them. But, you know, if you see somebody, one of these people who does something really fucked up like that, you'll see it happen around here. You know, like you'll hear somebody go up to, yeah, yo, asshole. Yeah, that was a real slick move you did. You fucked over a lot of people. You'll hear that happen around here. And this is the thing I tell people all the time. Hold them to account, in public. If you see a celebrity or a politician or whoever that has done something that you know has caused an egregious harm and caused, bad for other people, hold them up publicly to scrutiny. Call them on it. Pull their card. If you're standing behind a celebrity online and he did something fucked up or said something fucked up or one of these politicians, you know what? Start with them. I don't say start with them like pick a fight. Just confront them. Confront them because you know what? In today's day and age, someone's going to whip out a camera. You might become famous, but you know what? You're holding them to account. You're holding their feet to the flame. That's what people have to start doing. Seriously. I'm saying, like Sargon should not have to be the only fucking person in all of England cutting videos about what a slimy prick this guy is. If you're British and you see him, you should say something to him. Seriously, if you see this fucking bald wanker walking around the street, go up to him and say, hey, hot dog neck, I want to rap with Seriously. Unfucking real. Like, look, I'll be the first one to tell you. Like, we went down to Moore the first year. Tara was with us the second year. I was a little bit more subdued. There was a lot going on. But the first year I was down there, I met a few of these internet celebrities. I put a few of them straight. But that's the thing. I don't give a fuck who you are. And I'm not saying anything about me either. If I'm saying something wrong and wilding the fuck out, you see me, put me in my place, by all means. Nobody's better than anybody else. You know, when we're talking about the country, well, fucking A, we're talking about the country, you know? And again, this is what I'm saying. Like, you got this moron. He fucked over those African people by shooting his mouth off. If you're English, you got an obligation and say to him, hey, do me a favor, asshole. No more infomercials. You're hurting innocent people. Unfucking real. Ugh. Shit gives me a headache, Tara, I swear.
Oh, I know the family. Rich, are you ever going to talk?
Usually you say something like that to me. Or Scooby does.
Well, you've been very talkative tonight, so.
Oh, yeah. All this shit with Jesse Smollett. I've got plenty to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over.
Are we talking about Ghostbusters now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
And he
No, sorry, I was muted.
No, we know. That's what we were asking. We were asking what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just doing some stuff around the house. That's until I can get back to drawing.
So did you ever ask your uncle about that tablet I sent you a link about?
I'm still waiting to reply back to the one I sent to him before.
No, send him the most expensive one there. I sent the link to the best one out there.
Hey, Rich, check this out. I think I have a Redbubble. I got to check to see if I ever filled it out. I might have done it and forgot. I'm good like that. But if I have a Redbubble, I wanted to sell a shirt on it for Cinco de Mayo. So I sent you the design in Discord. I'd like you to take a look at it, and I had an idea. So let me know if it's something you're interested in. If you make the design, obviously, I sell the shirt on Redbubble. Fuck it, you can keep the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'll work it out. Like, yeah, there you go. Every shirt that I sell, you, since I got no money to pay you to make the drawing, you can just take the money for the shirt. There you go. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, I seen the idea and I said to myself, you know what, this is one of those things. If I can get Rich to like do up a drawing for this and we can color it and use it for the Cinco de Mayo show, like the Cinco de Mayo episode, we'll put it on the t-shirts too. And I'm thinking to myself, this would be good. He could get advertising out there. And I'm thinking to myself, well, fuck, I got no money to pay the kid. Then I thought about it, fuck it, I'll just let him keep the money from the shirts. There you go. So.
Oh, Scoop, did I tell you my plan?
You've told me many plans. What do you got cooking?
I took all those Florida Man screenshots you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, in my Redbubble, I'm going to make the Florida Man series t-shirts.
So you mean the plan I told you and you took it and ran with it? Gotcha. So Scooby, did I tell you I adopted your plan and renamed it my plan? Okay.
This complaint about that happens in these business meetings. The woman has an idea, the man rolls with it, saying it was his idea.
Yeah. You're watching feminism in action. She just reversed the roles.
Hey, it's not your plan. It's our plan.
Exactly. Hey, as long as somebody gets that idea and puts it out there, because those pictures that I put in the group thing, holy shit, were they priceless. Yeah, definitely. Like a series of Florida Man t-shirts, and since you're from Florida, that'll work out.
Yep.
And you can actually call your brand Florida Woman t-shirts, and it's all just happens to be Florida Men, and that'll be good because you can actually convince the feminists to walk around wearing those shirts. There you go.
No, it's going to be the Florida Man series.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm saying you can call your company Florida Woman Productions. That way you get you'll actually convince the feminists to walk around wearing those shirts. I'd love that, to see feminists. I'm showing solidarity and girl power. Huh?
There's going to be Florida Man Series T-shirts, and then there's going to be Florida Woman Series.
Fine. I'm just saying, if you're going to sit here and nitpick, I was saying to you, call your company Florida Woman.
No,
because,
no.
All right, because you're a chick and you're from Florida.
No, it's Harrison Redbubble. That's it.
All right. There's different ways you can do it, but that's fine.
Yes, cool, man.
Well, either way, I look forward to it. I definitely want the one of the guy who got arrested for practicing karate by kicking swans in the head in the park. That was the one. I don't know if you heard when I was scrolling through them. That was the one I was laughing hysterically. That I couldn't stop laughing when I read it. Yeah, you got an interesting state. You definitely do. Well, I thought that California was full of weirdos because of Los Angeles and San Francisco. Holy shit, they cannot compare to your state. Like, top to the bottom, the whole state is freaking wild. I think that's so cool. I really do.
Fuck you, Scooby.
I don't know why you see it as me being insulting to you. I'm being sincere. Like, you remember?
Same thing to Monkey and Scribelight when I was watching Lords of the Night. They'd be going on about Florida Man, and I'd be like, fuck you. I'd say that in the chat.
Well, I'm saying, though, like, you remember the other night you were trying to read off New York stories, and they were all tragic or horrific. There was nothing funny about them or interesting. I mean, it's all like, family gets slaughtered and their house gets robbed or some shit. There's nothing, nothing involving like donkeys or explosives like in Florida. Nothing, there was no livestock on roller skates. No one was involved using a hang glider. There was no plastic explosives. You don't get that up here. What you get up here is like real tragedy. Family tied the chair. They watch as the guy slaughters the dog and then runs off with the daughter or some shit. That's what you get up here. Down by you, guy uses skateboard and pogo stick to rob liquor store, but then leaves his wallet or some shit. I mean, just the craziest shit you're ever gonna hear.
Fuck you, Scooby.
What? I'm saying it sincerely. I think that's cool about your state. I mean, otherwise, what is your state full of, basically? Crackers and old people. So, I mean, the nuts kind of keep it interesting. What? I like your state. Jeez, I'm sitting here complimenting it. Your state is the only one I visited twice. Like DC does.
You haven't been on, to the Midwest.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Most of the states I visited, I only visit them once. I visited Florida twice. Like DC don't count because it's the capital. I gotta go there for business purposes. But I'm saying, like, as far as like going to a state, yeah, I think I've maybe been to Jersey more than twice. That's about it. Florida's the only state that I can.
You have to go to Jersey when you're throwing out your trash.
True. But I'm just saying, like, out of any state I've been on the East Coast, Florida's the only one I've went to twice.
Hey, Scooby, you want to hear a joke?
What's up?
Florida.
This guy and girl are like going at it in the back of a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she whispers to him, "Kiss me where it stinks." So he drives her to New Jersey.
Oh, goodness. I feel bad for that state. I really do. No, think about it. I mean, it's New Jersey. There's nothing good you can say about it. There's really nothing good you can say about Jersey. I hate saying that because I feel bad, I mean, I do have a few friends that are from Jersey who live in Jersey.
I feel bad for Hawaii. AOC's trying to kill it.
Well, I mean, Hawaii's got shit going on for it. I mean, if you go to Jersey, you know what New Jersey is? New Jersey is New York, except with no left turns and everything is a one-way street. I'm being dead serious. New Jersey has no left turns and all of their streets are one-way.
Well, 3 rights make a left.
Exactly. That's why there's so many jug handles in New Jersey. They literally have little areas where if you miss something, you can go and turn around and come back.
But with Hawaii, AOC is trying to get rid of airplanes and fossil fuels.
I swear to God, it's almost like you think that these three morons who hired her were secretly like super hyper capitalist Republicans who were trying to undermine the left. I mean, who the fuck does the shit that these people are doing trying to get this doctrine passed? You know? Like, okay, to convince the rest of you that I'm right, you're going to watch as I sit here for the next 15 minutes and beat my head against a brick wall. That's basically what they're doing. I'm watching this in awe, like, wow, 7 minutes in and he's still going. You know? I don't understand what the left and the Democrats are thinking. Like with any of what they're doing, it's all illogical. You know, it makes me wonder, like from all of the years of doing designer drugs and all of the years of like just the lifestyle that these people have been living, like the excess, have they actually like reached the same? I mean, there's no lead in their water, so I can't understand why else they're acting almost like the ancient Romans. But it's like maybe it's all of the designer drugs. Maybe they've cumulatively taken their toll. I mean,
Maybe they've taken the book Valley of the Dolls too literally. Maybe it's their handbook now.
when you look at like The View, how they became militarized and politicized, why? They were all friends with Donald Trump up until he ran for president. He was a guest on their show a lot. He actually famously trolled them by saying his daughter was hot. And you even see he made the famous troll face where he sits there and he grins and like, you know, sticks his tongue out at them. It was actually epic. You know? But I'm saying like they were all friends with him beforehand. And he was, you know, I mean, it's just one of these things. Like I can't understand how the fuck these people on the left all went as batshit crazy as they have in the past 3 years. And it makes you wonder: is this a put on, or have they legitimately lost their minds? Are they getting marching orders? I mean, what the fuck is going on? I can't comprehend it.
Their programming kicked in.
Seriously, I can't think of anything else. How vitriolic and hyperbolic everything became during the. I mean, bro, this country tore itself to fucking half when that election went on. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wait till next year.
Oh, I'm waiting with bated breath. This is part of the reason.
It's what?
I said, this is the reason I'm getting all my equipment together. Like I was telling you before, I'm going to start wearing underneath my street clothes when I go to interview people. I'm going to be wearing like the body armor if you fall off a motorcycle at 200 miles an hour. Seriously. Like, it's one of those things where if Antifa, I mean, if I'm really outnumbered, I'm going to be 40 at this point. I'm not going to try to outrun these kids, especially if half of them are hopped up on meth or something. Christ, they could outrun a car. So at this point, it's one of those things where if they like try to jump me and surround me, that's the reason I'm going to be wearing the armor. So if I fight back and there's like a half a dozen, I can take the hits while I'm dishing it out. And, you know, I was telling this to my wife and my mother, and this is the reason I know it's bad. And I finished talking, and I'm looking at the two of them, and they're like, what's the matter? Because I had this look on my face. I said, you two haven't told me to shut up once and told me to be quiet and said this is crazy. And they said, and this is why I got nervous, because my mother goes, well, it's getting that bad out that what you're saying is making sense. I could see that you'd have to wear this stuff under your clothes to make sure that they don't break any of your bones. That's scary. Because usually my mother dismisses shit immediately, but for her to be sitting there and she was going on and on about how she remembers '68 and she remembers how bad it was with the hoses and the German shepherds and this that, and now she's nervous. She isn't saying that no more. You know, now what's going on is like it's scaring her. And I can't say I blame her for being scared. I mean, look at this crazy shit that they got going on. Did you see earlier, Kel? Did you see when Schiff was talking in front of Congress, and like Congress is screaming at him, like not even screaming, they're like yelling at him. They're like, "Yo, you gotta, you know, like, you have to yield. You know, your time is up. I will not yield. I won't yield. Like yelling at them and shit. They had Schiff. They had Adam Schiff in front of Congress about, you know, like, look, you got to step down from your position, you crazy fuck. You went after the president with no evidence. And he's sitting there. He's like, the president's guilty. He's guilty. And they're like, nah, you got to yield. He's like, I won't yield. I'm not going to yield. I'm sitting there like, throw a fucking net over him and drag him the fuck out of there. He's crazy. What? I'm sorry.
I said, put up or shut up. It was like a model from scientific community that Newton was a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing is that put up the evidence or shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And no, instead he wanted to sit there and rail about how he's being silenced. And it's like, nah, no one's silencing you, you crazy fuck. You have been talking and talking and talking. Okay, where's the proof? You just want to keep talking. No one wants to listen to you. Where the fuck is the proof? Unbelievable. You know, I really hate saying this, but, you know, and people have said to me, they're like, well, what do you want? Like a one-party system like they have over in China? What, do you just want the Republicans? And I go, no, I just want to get rid of the damn Democrats so we can have another party. You know?
I heard that the Democrats might split into two different parties.
I'd be all for that. I'd be more than happy if that happened to them. Fuck them. They're crazy people.
Yeah, but if they did that, it would actually help the Republicans win.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd like it if the other quote-unquote independent parties were more recognized by the government. Hey, Six.
Just finally eating my black eyed peas. Happy New Year.
Hey, Six.
Hey, Six.
How's it going, Rich?
Well, that's good.
So, Six, what is your take on all this crazy shit?
I just walked in the door like 5 minutes ago, man. I don't know.
The country in the past 2-3 days with the hearings and with this crazy Jussie Smollett story and every other thing that's gone on. Just the country in general. I'm saying the crazy shit going on out in the news.
Well, there's some interesting developments in that, all that. It's I don't exactly know what is in the emails, but there are some emails that have been uncovered.
God damn it! Now I'm gonna wind up right in the fridge because of you.
What he said?
That would seem to suggest that whoever the hell Fox is,
Tim Fox, the DA.
Yeah, that she pretty well knew that Smollett would be convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And apparently
there are a lot of shady things going on, which I hope leads to the arrest, prosecution, and conviction
why the cases were dropped
of Michelle Obama.
Well, it gets even better because Kim Fox never formally recused herself.
Interesting. So,
yes.
In a case of conflict of interest.
Well, I heard that she didn't really recuse herself. Like, it was dropped that she recused herself, but then it was dropped that she actually didn't.
Yeah. No, she said she had recused herself, but she never filed the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
she had made
no-no.
statements. Yeah. She'd made statements that she recused herself, but then she had never actually did the recusal. She never filed for it.
Oh, she never officially recused herself.
Right. Right. Which is actually, it's a crime in and of itself, so. Yeah. This is why I said this is actually a bit of a good thing, because there's so much, oh my God, there's so much corruption in this case.
And it's even better now that the FBI is involved.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be another thing, and You know, Rush Limbaugh was talking earlier. I had caught something when he was talking to Brett Barr, and what they're going to be doing is now, because Rush is calling, he wants yet another investigation into all of the Democrats involved with this shit with the Mueller report. So the windup of it is, we might actually be starting off the second term of the president's presidency. With a good portion of the government actually being on trial. So
Interesting.
yeah, really interesting.
Didn't something like this happen one other time?
Which time? What do you mean?
Or a good portion of the government was like on trial.
The last time something like this happened, it was probably Watergate, and it was Nixon, and then the time after that was probably when the Clintons got hit with Whitewater. Which again, these are both real estate scandals and scams. It was just them lining their pockets. It was them being shady, underhanded shitheads. This is social engineering and trying to overthrow the government. The last time something like this happened, was during the 1940s. George H.W. Bush's father, Prescott Bush, and a bunch of like-minded individuals during World War II, because the country was in the grips of the war. Prescott, who, by the way, was not only a Democrat, but was a Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, Prescott decided, hey, guys, why don't we all get together and overthrow the president? So Prescott Bush, I'm pretty sure the guy who owned DuPont, the guy who owned Dow, a bunch of other rich people tried to overthrow Roosevelt. It didn't work. So what they all had to do, they all had to shell out a couple $1 million apiece to buy their way out of going to jail, and it got buried. The last time before that somebody tried to actually flat out do treason was Benedict Arnold. So this is probably the first time, in at least about a good 80 years that something this heavy has happened. But we've never had something like this magnitude of heaviness. You know what I'm saying? This is big. This is big, and yeah.
This is swamp draining big.
Yeah. This is, believe it or not, we might actually, when the smoke clears and the dust settles, we might get back a country better than what we had during Reagan's presidency.
Yeah, so my phone was being gay and kicked me out.
What, your phone kicked you out?
Yeah.
What plan
It's
you
been
got?
doing that all. It's been doing that all day. I don't know what type of phone this is. It's a ZTE. I don't fucking know. It's been kicking me out all my shit.
I just got rid of my ZTE. I upgraded to a Samsung Galaxy S9.
Nice. I'm probably going to have to do that myself. That cheap one that I bought to work, it doesn't work with any of my software. It doesn't work with anything. I'm kind of annoyed that the guy at Best Buy, sold me this phone, because it doesn't really work. But
never trust those morons at Best Buy. They're a bunch of college kids that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground.
Oh, well, this is the thing. The guy I was dealing with was older, and he was an older gentleman, and he was actually a biker. He had a couple of tattoos on his arms, and I said to him, I'm like, don't mind me asking, what are you doing here? He said to me, he's like, son, I've been married for 50 years. I said, oh, okay. He said,
there
yeah.
you go. Yeah.
I said, still with her? He's like, that's why I'm here. I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
For those of the younger viewers who are listening, most married men, when they get to a certain point, when they can't deal with their wife anymore, they actually, when they're retired, they get a job, so they get out of the house.
Yeah. Those greeters just at Home Depot and Lowe's. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't need the money. They're literally there because they can't deal with their wife at the house. No, you know what it is? I hate saying this. A lot of the older generation, it's because of the way that society was designed, where, it was the man of the house is supposed to do this, the man in the house is supposed to do that.
We're playing with the longest lasting phone. Jesus.
A lot of these younger women, a lot of these feminists, they don't believe in that. but a lot of older women do believe in that. So basically, when the man is home, the woman doesn't really do as much because she's constantly, "Hun, can you fix this? Can you do that? Can you do?" And they give the husband a list
They
of
have a
chores.
honey-do list.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
that's the reason that the husbands get jobs.
Yeah.
Literally, just to stay away from their wife so they don't have to do chores.
At least they get paid to do the honey-do list.
Yeah, so that's who I wound up dealing with at Best Buy. And I don't think he purposefully misled me because I asked him, I said, is this going to sync with the car so I can listen to the radio? I said, and is it going to sync with the phone, with the GoPro? I said, because I got a GoPro camera. He's like, yeah, it should sync with them, no problem. He's like, that's, I said, okay, that's the only reason I'm buying the damn thing is for that. Because he's like, you interested in, like, what plan are you looking for? I said, I don't want any fucking service. I'm not using it as a phone. I'm using this just to stream with in Manhattan. He says, oh, okay, good. That's fine. He's like, so I basically got one with like almost no minutes, but unlimited data, which is what I wanted. So, I've been trying to use the thing, and I think I told you I had that problem like syncing it with the GoPro. I got to go up to the library, and I got to fucking open up the source. Yeah, I go to the library, and this is the new thing New York State did. You take out library books, and they auto renew them. So the woman goes like this: "You owe us $75." I go, "For what?" She said, "Well, you lost a couple of books of ours." I go, "What do you mean I lost your books?" She said, "Well, you rented them back in October and you've never returned them." I said, "Hey, lady," I said, "are you trying to pull on it?" I said, "Because, my wife's going to get a little bit jealous." She goes, "Excuse me?" I said, "You're not excused." I was in no mood for this bitch. I go, "Look, I'm going to put it to you like this." I said, I go in there. I said, "You got that bug-eyed tart behind the counter." Every time I went in to talk to her, she said, "Oh, no, it's already auto-renewed." "Oh, yes, well, we do have an auto-renewal program, but, you never returned them." I said, "Again, I've been in there like 5, 6 times in the past, like, as many months. Every time I went in, I got told it was auto-renewed." And then there's a long pause, and she's like, I got to get a supervisor.
Yeah.
Yeah, same song and dance. So I got to go to the library tomorrow, bring the fucking books in, talk to the supervisor, get the $75 expunged so I can get into the computer, get into the fucking computer, update the software packet, plug it into the phone, and then I can go back to creating content. This is because GoPro designed the camera where if it isn't updated through the Wi-Fi, they put a lock in it, so you have to manually update it. I don't know who the fuck thought of this, but that's the fucking thing I'm dealing with tomorrow.
As long as there are bad ideas, there will be people to think of them.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. There's a guy I've actually been watching. Just stumbled upon him actually, and it's funny because yesterday he just hit 2 million viewers. He's down actually your way in Texas. His name's Scotty Kilmer. Guy's like 70-something years old, and he's a mechanic. He doesn't look it, but he's about 70-something years old. And I'm watching this guy, and he's going on about all these different cars, and he tells you which ones are bad and which ones are good, and which to buy and which not to buy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to back out.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the third time I've been kicked out. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.
I'm sorry.
Take it easy, Rich.
We gotta try to get you a better phone, kid. Seriously.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Right.
Hey, have a good night, brother.
See you guys.
Yep. Be good, kid.
Night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just as I say, no. Yeah, I could wind up sitting here fucking bullshitting all night about this stuff. You know that. Ugh.
Oh, I have some. It's rather unexpectedly good news, but
Go ahead, shoot.
remember about a year back, we were on a. Actually, it's more than it was more than a year back. Actually, about a year and a half back, we were on the stream with Hammer, and we were trying to figure out what the hell a song was that I've been trying to rediscover for like the last 35 years.
Yeah.
Found out what it was today. The song is called "Run, Run Away" by the band Slade.
I know that song. Wow. I haven't heard that song in about 30-something years myself.
Yep.
Female singer, right?
No, it's a guy. It's
That's a guy.
yeah. The band they were the ones who originally wrote "Come On Feel the Noise," which was covered by Quiet Riot.
Yeah.
So this was something that they put out. It was released. The video was released in February of 1984. I would have been almost 7 at the time.
And that was the last time you seen this song?
I saw it maybe roughly 6 months after it was originally released. This would have been the summer of '84 was when I saw this. I saw the video on MTV, and it blew me away.
You know, it's funny you're talking about Quiet Riot. It was one of their videos. I think it was. I remember it was probably the oldest video I can remember watching on MTV. That's how long ago it was. You know the one with all the doctors where they're sitting in the auditorium?
Oh, you mean Mental Health?
No, not Mental Health. It was the sequel to that one.
Oh, what was that one?
No, you're right. It is Mental Health. I was thinking because Bang Your Head. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, no, you're right. Mental Health. It was that video. And yeah, you remember? It's like he comes crashing through the movie screen and he's all gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that when I was a kid. There was that one. Like, there was so many videos I remember from that era, but that one was the one I remember the most. It like scared the shit out of me because I'm like, it just was such a weird video. Like it was unnerving.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Bang Your Head was also a great one.
Oh yeah.
The straitjacket scene still fucking irks me. Because I'm not naturally claustrophobic.
Yeah.
But just the amount of lactic acid that would build up in your body just trying to fight that thing just to get out. Oh. That's just it's unnerving.
Yeah, I had a few friends who actually like had straitjackets because you know that trick, try to get out of a straitjacket.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I had friends who actually that was their thing. They'd want you to like strap them into the straitjacket so they could sit there and try to get out of it. I'm sitting there like, yeah, fuck it, we could have a blunt cycle and sit around, pass the thing around, watching you roll around on the floor, try to get out of that thing, go nuts. They could never get out. It's like, oh, can you help me out? Yeah, sure. As soon as we get back from the store, we're going on a beer run. Have fun. I had a few friends that they were good at that, though. There was one guy we knew. He was able to constantly get out of handcuffs. Cops hated him. Like, he was the type, if he knew he was going in on a bullshit charge, so he was gonna beat it anyway. So there was a few times he got out of the squad car and like he'd hand the cuffs to the cops and they get all pissed off. They put the cuffs back on him. They go to the desk to check him and he hands them the cuffs again. They're like, how the fuck do you keep doing that? What it was, I think that he was actually able to dislocate his thumbs.
Yeah. So
he just kept popping his thumbs out of joint and sliding the cuffs off and then popping them back in and handing them to the cops. And they didn't even know. They're like, what the fuck? They tried like 2 or 3 different pairs of cuffs on him.
There's something wrong with these cuffs.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is if you can actually pop your thumbs out of joint, you can get out of handcuffs.
Yep.
Yeah. The buddy of mine actually. It was
Don't
funny.
try and pop your thumbs out of joint. It hurts like a bitch.
Yeah. Well, this is my friend. I think I told you guys. I've talked about him before on the air. A buddy of mine, Jailbird Joey. He's the one. I think I mentioned his wife is deaf. He's fluent in sign language.
The cat remembers.
Yes. See, at least the cat listens.
The cat listens to all.
That's quite an accomplishment too for the cat to listen.
Yeah. I know, right? Because I ramble on so much, even the cat loses interest. Ugh. Yeah, but excuse me for yawning. No, Joey was good like that. The reason he got the nickname Jailbird was this guy was one of those people. He never did any hard time for felonies. He always did like 30 days, 90 days, 6 months for misdemeanors and shit. So Joey would just disappear for a few weeks to a few months and then all of a sudden reappear again. He was always a decent kid. He was always nice to me. You know, I couldn't even tell you what color the guy's eyes are, though, because he always wore T-shades. You know, like one of those people with really thin rectangular glasses, but they're tinted so you can't see their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good people, though. I always liked Joey. I'd like to get him on the air one night. You know, get a little bit more New York up in here.
Yeah. Too much Texas. Man.
Oh, you can never have too much Texas. Are you kidding me?
When you get to both me and Pat on the same stream, that's too much Texas. But
I actually was telling Pat last night. I said that you guys should start your own streaming group. I said you and Six need to get a hold of. You get a hold of Undoomed. You get a hold of Tyro. I said, and there was one other person. I forget who else I mentioned. I said, an Arcater. I thank you. I said, you guys. I start like the Lone Star stream, and you call yourselves the Lone Rangers or some shit like that.
But you have to start it out with yeehaw!
Seriously, bro. There's enough of you there in Texas. You're all friends already. You're all like-minded people. Why not start a Texas stream? There's no reason not to. You already were talking to a feew people about doing that freaking Chicano stream or La Raza stream, whatever the hell you was planning on doing.
The Beaner stream.
They're going to call this stream.
Of course, that would probably get flagged by YouTube.
Calling it the Beaner stream? Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's when you put down we're all Mexican.
Yeah, I mean, I did one or two.
Like, I'm Mexican. Fuck off.
You know, a couple of months ago, before my reputation got dragged through the mud, when I was still doing streams with people, I got invited on a stream where it was basically like a Paisan stream. Everyone on there was either Italian or Sicilian. You know, I mean, I'm just saying that there are little niches here and there, and I think that if you guys, because there's so many of you guys in Texas, I think a Texas stream would be a good sell for you guys. I mean, it's the only state I know of where I know at least 3 people, and I happen to know like 6 of you guys that are down in Texas. I mean, Tara's the only person I know in Florida. Kel's the only person I know in Alabama. You know, I mean, there's like every state, everyone I talk to, there's like, you know, they're far flung, they're in different states, or they're not near each other in the state. You guys are all in Texas.
It is a big place.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, to me, I think you would be remiss to miss this opportunity. You know, I'm not saying do a daily stream, but maybe every once in a while you guys could get together on a special occasion and do a Texas stream. Just for shits and giggles. I mean, just a thought, a suggestion.
Yeah, it'll be tough logistically to get all of us under one tent for even a single day. It's hard enough, you know, to coordinate with Arcater to get our thing done.
Well, why don't you guys shoot for Memorial Day weekend? That's a time you're all going to have time, and I think 2-3 hours out of an afternoon won't kill the 3 of you, the group of you. I'm just saying, to me, it seems like a no-brainer. I think that you guys will try it once, and you'll like it so much it'll become a regular staple for you. Just a thought.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If I can find a whole bunch of Florida people, you know.
Then the cops will be called.
I was gonna try to get a whole bunch of New Yorkers on here, but like that's the thing. I don't think that I'm not saying it's trying to like knock anybody. I don't think that the rest of this quote unquote YouTube community would be able to handle that. Like if it's me and like let's say I got a panel of at least 8 people. Let's say I got a full boat, like 9 people, room for one more. And it's me and I got 8 of these guys. I don't exactly know any like Emmy Award winning stellar Nobel Prize recipient people up. But everyone I know around here has got a record. Most people are dropouts. They work for a living, and I mean, yeah, it's probably be entertaining, but I mean, you're gonna not hear anything like what you're used to hearing from me. It wouldn't exactly be like an intellectual stream. It'd probably be real fun, probably a lot of laughs, a whole bunch of expletives, but. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing like to me. I personally would be curious to see like a stream with everyone down in Texas. If I sat here and pulled a bunch of New Yorkers onto a stream, it would be like a sideshow. It wouldn't really be anything to it. I don't know. Maybe it would be. Maybe I'm underselling it, and a bunch of working class thugs would probably be entertaining as fuck. Who knows? Seriously, like have you? Check this out. Have any of you ever listened to the Jerky Boys?
Yeah.
That's basically what everyone I know sounds like. So basically, I'd have a stream full of people that sounded like Johnny B and Kamal. Yeah. Yes, I can imagine. I could imagine sitting here like, so, what do you guys think about the Jussie Smollett case? Who gives a fuck about him? Oh, I want to talk to you about this. What were we doing about that wall down south, Scooby? I mean, I could picture how the stream's going to go.
Yeah.
I had a stream of meatheads. Oh, it would be bad. It would degenerate. I mean, it would be 2 hours of no topics getting covered. It would just be a bunch of guys yelling at each other. Like, oh, what the fuck are you talking? Get the fuck out. Who the hell are you? I can picture it. Fuck it, I'll give it a try. Just gotta see if I can get a few of the guys.
Actually, I think that would be an enjoyable stream.
Oh, for people watching, for me, I'm gonna be sitting here with my head in my hands the whole time, and the only word going through my head over and over is gonna be "fuck."
And I'm gonna be the one hosting, so I'm just gonna be sitting here going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. You have no idea what you guys are in store for. If I can go and grab a few people, like now that the spring's coming, if we have like one of them spring festivals and I can grab, oh yeah, oh my god, yeah, I can imagine if I can get the guys on the stream. It's probably going to be the most insane thing you're ever going to see. Like, no offense to anyone here, but I think if I started streaming like with people from this neighborhood, just because of how outlandishly insane all of them are, I think it might actually like affect the other streams that we do. Like, we might get hecklers in the chat, like Scooby, get rid of these people, bring in the New Yorkers. Like seriously. Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it's 12:15.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, anyone want a show?
Okay.
Anybody?
Well, let's see. So I'm going to be doing, I don't know exactly when, early next month, but sometime after the premiere of Shazam, Marketer and I are going to be doing a show on Shazam, a compare and contrast of Shazam and Captain Marvel.
So Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel.
Essentially. So that's what's coming down the pipe. And Marchmas Eve is tomorrow. So I will be reading from the Book of Psalms and enjoying the song, The Holly and the Ivy. I'll be posting it, dozens of versions of Holly and the Ivy on the Twitter machine.
Marchmas Eve is the 30th.
Marchmas Eve is the 29th. Marchmas is on the 30th.
Oh, okay. Well, what's the 31st then?
The March 31st.
Nice.
Yeah, Marchmas is the 30th of March.
March 31st is also special. I turned 40 that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, that's actually not the reason I use 331 in the name. The 31st of March is also the day, if you look on any sweepstakes right now, any contest, and you look, it says offer not valid in New York and offer expires on March 31st. Every single sweepstakes in this country is not valid in my state, and they all expire on my birthday for some reason.
Interesting.
How come they're not valid in your state?
Well, for years, New York was the most populous state, and now it seesaws between California and Florida, which it's because they're full of New Yorkers now. But for years, it was New York was not allowed to participate in any contest because the odds are a New Yorker will win then. So we just weren't allowed to. Yeah, we just weren't allowed to participate.
So they discriminate against the entire state.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Like whenever
the population mass.
Exactly. Like when I was a kid, everyone was like, "Oh, do you remember that contest?" Yeah, I didn't participate. Why not? And I'd show them the thing on the bottom, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, you mean this? My entire life, I've been going and buying this shit." And yeah, you're an asshole. Maybe if you read the fucking disclaimer, you'd realize you were wasting your time and money, dick.
So are they valid in California?
Some of them now, like it says, the sweepstake is not valid in California, it's not valid in Florida, and it's not valid in New York. Those are usually the three states that say.
Yeah. Even Florida.
Yeah.
Well, see, New York has more people per capita than California and Florida put together.
Yeah, it's just like the populations are bigger in their states because the populations are spread out further. Our population is condensed.
Oh.
Yeah.
New York is kind of like Thailand and Japan and stuff like that. Instead of spreading out into like the woodlands and stuff like that, because they're so protected, they just keep building on top of buildings and keep
95% of the population lives within 5% of the state's area.
Wow.
It's the only state in the entire union that is like that. All of our population is literally in the very corner of the state. Upstate New York is one of the most rural and unpopulated states. If they separated it, New York State's population would immediately drop. If you got to look at it this way, New York State's population is like 17 and something million people, and 15 million of them live south of Westchester County. The other 2 million live in the rest of the state.
Fairly lopsided.
Yeah, ridiculously lopsided. That's like, I think I've said this before, my neighborhood, within 3.2 miles of land, 1.6 of that area is occupied by water. In the remaining landmass, we fit 48,000 people.
The biggest reason for all of this is because the New York City is such a great port location.
Mm-hmm. That, and because we're connected to the Erie Canal, and then you have the Hudson that goes right up into Canada. I mean, location. The Erie Canal connects us directly with Chicago. So, you know, and then likewise, we're connected to Ontario and Toronto. I mean, there's so much. And also we have, you know, we share a border with Massachusetts, so we had also a lot of trade going with them because they're also a port city. I mean, there was so much that contributed to it here. But the main reason a lot of people moved here was opportunity for work. More than anything, you could get a job here.
Yeah,
you needed it. You know, all the immigrants coming in. That's the reason that we have the garment district here. These fucking people needed clothes. They were in steerage for 6 months. They need a wardrobe. You know, That's why there's so many haberdashers. That's why there's so many cobblers. That's why there's, that's what the reason that it got built up so much here is because you needed to be able to accommodate all of the people coming off of the boats.
If you got a demand, you need a supply.
Yeah, that's the same reason San Francisco got built up the way that it did. You had so many people coming over there from, Asia, from Eastern Europe, and from Russia. That's a lot of people don't realize. California had a busy port industry too. It was just coming from the other side of the globe. And God forgive me for saying it, this is back when China was known as the sick man of Asia. So it wasn't, Asia at the time was not nearly as advanced as Europe was. So, and the Asians also tended to infiltrate, and I shouldn't use the term infiltrate, but filter in more into the West Coast. And that was the thing. The West Coast, up until the latter part of the 20th century, when transportation and communication became much better, they didn't really contribute much to this country at all. On the national stage. I don't want to say they didn't contribute. It was just like, as far as like the makeup of this country, they were a little bit more far flung. So that's part of the reason when people think of the immigrants, they all automatically think of the Europeans that came in through New York. They don't ever think of the Asians that came in through California. Yeah. More useless shit than I know.
All right, Scooby, you want to chill now?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You see, this is what happens when Scooby doesn't have reefer.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you guys know the deal. I'm Scooby331. You can follow me here on YouTube. I am on Minds.com, GabAI, Patreon, and PayPal. I am taking crowdfunding donations right now. I am trying to get all my stuff together for more in September and to start questioning people on the streets of Manhattan. So, folks, please, I am trying to get together a few $100 to get the rest of my equipment squared. So any donations will do. I'm going to try to be giving you folks content in the coming days. I'm not going to lie, this entire week, every time I set up to cut a video, more stories broke. So I had to rewatch everything that's been happening. So I'm going to probably cut a really good video, hopefully like this weekend, covering a few things. So that's what I got coming up right now. Last Saturday, there was a Trump rally in Manhattan. I didn't find out about it till Tuesday. I am not on Twitter because Jack Dorsey is a bastard. I've been banned at least 11 times from at least 11 different accounts. Anyone finds out or hears anything going down in the city, let me know. I will go cover it. And that also goes the same. Anyone wants anything covered, any videos made within reason, yeah, I'll go do that for you. I take suggestions. So hit me up on Gab or Discord if you're in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing on my Instagram yet because I have to start making more content. So hit me up, people. Let me know what you need.
All right, and I know my baby brother doesn't have jack shit to show. So I am Terracin. You can find me on pretty much any social media except for Facebook. On Facebook, you will find me as Ambrosia Locke, and that's Locke with an E. I have a Gab. I have a Minds. Down in the description is a GoFundMe for my friend Ben. He was injured in a motorcycle accident. He is doing better, but, he still needs help to pay his bills. So any donations would be amazing. And feel free to donate to me. My PayPal link is down in the description. I make purses and stuff, and I'm trying to get my happy ass to DC again, so because I have a new phone. I have a waterproof case for up to 6 feet deep in water, so yeah, if a hurricane hits again, it's not getting hurt. So I can film, I can interview people, and, actually have fun where I'm wearing decent pair of shoes. So, yeah, help us out if you can. If not, at least spread the word. And if you're just going to be a dick, don't do anything. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Good night, all.